What if the smartest move the Commanders can make in this draft isn't to select a player, but to trade down a few spots and gain firepower for the future? With only 5 picks available in the 2025 draft, Adam Peters is facing one of those career-defining moments for a general manager after an aggressive and successful offseason. The Commanders GM now faces a new challenge, turning scarcity into opportunity. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, some teams have shown reluctance to move into the top 10, information that could be gold in the hands of a strategic executive like Peters. And more, the Saints have already made inquiries about trading up from the 40th to the 29th pick, with their eyes on Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss. If that happens, the Commanders could exit day 1 of the draft with extra capital and still maintain good positioning in the second round. It wouldn't be the first time a competitive team opts to accumulate picks rather than go all in on a single name. The question is, will Peters accept dropping to the 40th pick? That depends on who is available on the board at the time. But there's one factor that could carry weight: the Saints' critical situation. With Derek Carr facing a potential long-term absence due to injury, New Orleans is desperate for answers. And Jackson Dart, along with Tyler Shaw and Jalen Milroe, are seen as the next best names after Shedeur Sanders likely comes off the board. That urgency from rivals could be Peters' secret weapon. He knows that the 29th pick carries strategic value. It's the point where desperation starts knocking on franchises' doors. If he can turn that into 2 or more additional picks, especially in the 3rd and 4th rounds, the Commanders come out ahead, even more so in a draft full of talent at needy positions. Of course, Peters may also choose to keep the pick and secure a solid name to strengthen the roster immediately. But don't be surprised if he bets on patience and intelligence. After all, building a winning team takes more than on-field talent. It takes vision. And now the question lingers: will Washington surprise with an impactful trade on the very first day of the draft? If you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay up to date with everything happening with the Commanders, subscribe now to the Commanders Fan News Today channel. Turn on notifications and stay with us until the final minute of the draft, because, unlike previous years, the Washington Commanders are no longer entering the draft as a team desperate for immediate solutions. With Jaden Daniels stepping up as the franchise quarterback and a solid foundation built by Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, the team is now playing with intelligence and even with a certain edge. That's why the 29th pick may be more valuable than it seems, not just because of the talent it can bring, but because of what it represents in the political game between GMs. At this point, other teams' anxiety can be exploited surgically, and Peters has the perfect profile for it: calm, analytical, and strategic. And it's worth remembering, the Saints have a history of aggressive moves. It wouldn't be surprising if they put something like the mid-round picks, maybe a 3rd and a 4th, on the table to move up and secure Dart. For New Orleans, that's urgency. For Washington, it could be a golden opportunity. What's more, this move would also show that Peters understands that a winning franchise is built with depth. With multiple picks, the Commanders can target high-upside players who can contribute in year 1, especially in areas like offensive line, secondary, and pass rush, which still need reinforcement. Of course, everything depends on the board. If an unexpected talent is still available at 29, Peters may very well hold onto the pick and secure an immediate boost. But if the right opportunity appears, waiting for the next name could be the wisest and most powerful move he can make. In the end, the draft isn't just about who you pick. It's about how to play the cards you've been dealt. And right now, Adam Peters may be about to play a full house against teams that barely have a pair in hand. Now, we just have to wait and see if the phone rings and whether Peters answers. With a smile, if you want to know firsthand what's going to happen with the Commanders in this draft, subscribe now to the Commanders Fan News Today channel, turn on notifications, and stay on top of every strategic move from our franchise on the road to the top. And as a Commanders fan, I have to say, this could be the smartest move Adam Peters has made since arriving in Washington. We're used to seeing this team being reactive in the draft, chasing after positions that didn't pan out, trying to fix everything with one miracle pick. But this time, the feeling is different. Peters is in control. He's not just picking players, he's playing chess with the rest of the NFL. And honestly, if there's a chance to trade down in the draft, accumulate picks, and still land impact talent, I'm totally on board. This team is on the right path. The foundation is being built with long-term vision, but without giving up immediate competitiveness. That's rare. That's special. And seeing the Commanders positioning themselves as a team that can influence the direction of the draft instead of just reacting to what's left is a clear sign that this franchise is stepping up. If Peters turns pick 29 into multiple selections and still finds productive players, it'll be more proof that we finally have the right people in charge. So, fan, do you agree with me? Should we trade pick 29 if the offer is good, or do you prefer to keep it and make the pick? What excites me the most is finally seeing a plan. For years, the Commanders seem stuck in cycles of rushed decisions, questionable signings, and draft picks that felt more like gambles than strategy. But now everything sounds different. Adam Peters is treating the draft like a real chessboard. He's not just thinking about the now. He's looking 3 for moves ahead, and that, as a fan, gives me a confidence I haven't felt in a long time. For the first time, I see the Commanders with identity, with purpose, and the beauty of this possible trade isn't just in the extra picks we could gain, but in the message it sends to the rest of the league. The Commanders are no longer easy prey. We become hunters, strategic, patient, and dangerously prepared. If the New Orleans Saints are desperate, great, let them bring the offers. If they want a quarterback, let them pay the price. Meanwhile, we'll keep building piece by piece, a team capable of competing at the highest level. And if everything goes right, maybe in a few years we'll look back at this 2025 draft not as the one where we gave up pick 29, but as the beginning of something bigger, the exact moment when the rebuild gave way to the rise. So my friends, the countdown has begun. The clock is ticking, and whatever path Peters chooses, one thing is certain, the Commanders' future is being written now, and for the first time in a long while, it looks bright. If you're as hyped as I am about this new chapter, hit that like button, leave your opinion down below, and subscribe to the Commanders Fan News Today channel so you don't miss a single detail of this incredible journey toward greatness.